Even if the Gulf countries are suffering a lot due to the attacks by Iran right now, they do not really want the US to back off. They do not really want the US to stop bombing Iran right at this moment, because they know if somehow Iran's capabilities are not fully destroyed, if somehow Iran's capabilities are not fully weakened, then Iran is going to become one of their greatest threats in their near future. In the long run, Iran is going to create lots of problems for them. They know that. Because Iran is such a country that considers its neighbors to be its enemies because of the fact that those countries have US military bases. So this is the reason why the Gulf countries are expecting Iran to be one of their greatest enemies in the long run if its capabilities are not fully destroyed right at this moment. Those countries do not really want Iran to become dominant in the long run. But if its capabilities are not destroyed right now totally, then it is going to become dominant in the long run. That is why those countries do not want the US to back off or stop bombing Iran at any cost right now. At this point, analysts have a very important opinion. According to analysts, if this particular war continues for quite some more time, then we'll be able to see that the GDP of the Gulf countries will get severely affected. We have also seen Donald Trump to ask these Gulf countries for joining the war directly. But these Gulf countries are not going to join the war directly. There is very low possibility of these countries joining the war directly. And the reason is that we already know due to Iran, their economies are very much badly affected. Their tourism industry has been affected, their oil economy has been affected due to the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and then also we know that they have to defend themselves, they have to protect themselves, and that is why in that particular infrastructure they had to spend hefty sums of money after Iran attacked. After the attacks of Iran, they had to spend hefty sums of money in order to defend themselves, in order to protect themselves. So these are the reasons why the economies of the Gulf countries are already bleeding. And now in such a situation, they do not want to join the war because they know that if they join the war right now, then Iran would escalate the situation further. Nothing good will happen. Ultimately, the thing that we can see right now is that the Gulf countries themselves do not want to join the war, but they do want the US to continue bombing because they do not want Iran to become dominant, although they themselves cannot join the war right now. We all know about how the USA is being turned down by almost every other country in the world whenever it's asking for help against Iran. And also we have seen the NATO countries are not in a very cooperative standpoint with the US in this particular context. And now we can clearly see that the Gulf countries themselves are also not getting involved in this particular matter. So should not we call this a political isolation of the US? With each passing day, we can clearly see that the situation is becoming more and more intense. Let's see what happens next. Thank you so much.